Rais wa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania, Mwasha Baba Askofu Kikwete, Askofu wa Jimbo Katoliki.
Baba naye anasogea pale.
Basi wengine walioko hapa, Mheshimiwa Rais, ni wajumbe wa bodi ya shule ambao wanaongozwa na wengine, Mheshimiwa Rais, ni wanafunzi wetu wa shule zetu pamoja na wazazi na wageni kutoka sehemu mbalimbali walioalikwa kuja kuwa pamoja nasi. Naomba nichukue nafasi hii niwakaribisheni wote na kuwatambulisha kwako, na nikisema karibu sana nyumbani kwako hapa Bagamoyo. Asante sana.
Baba Mirisho, tunakushukuru sana.
Shirika hapa Tanzania, kwa niaba ya wenzangu, kwa niaba ya Father Bayo, ulifungua hili jengo rasmi. Mheshimiwa
Rais anaelekea sasa kufungua jengo letu. Ndio anaondoa kile kitambaa pale. Halafu rais atakata utepe na ataingia ndani ya jengo moja kwa moja, na sisi tutasubiri hapa nje. Makofi na vigelegele, rais anakata utepe. Na sasa hosteli yetu imefunguliwa rasmi, na ndio rais anaingia moja kwa moja mpaka sehemu iliyoandaliwa. Wengine tutasubiri kidogo wakati
on behalf of the delegates who are here, and indeed on my own behalf, I warmly welcome you and I thank you. Before you are elected delegates, 115 in number, from 60 countries around the world where Holy Ghost missionaries are working. They are heroes who are being here today. And perhaps a good number of the delegates would like to know a bit of the President's personal profile, so that at least they are able to understand who you are, and of course you are.
Right Reverend Bishop Tresford Kude, Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Morogoro, my diocese. Most Reverend Father John Kofi, representing the Superior General of the Holy Ghost Congregation, Excellency, the Apostolic Nuncio, and the Vatican Ambassador to Tanzania, the Ambassador of France, the merciful and the compassionate for affording us this rare opportunity to meet here in Bagamoyo for the 20th chapter of the Congregation of the Holy Ghost Fathers. To the foreign delegates, I say welcome to Tanzania, and to all of you, welcome to Bagamoyo, my hometown. I hope you have a comfortable stay and a very successful meeting. I sincerely thank Reverend Father John Paul Hock, the Superior General, and the entire members of the General Council for choosing Tanzania to host this meeting. It is indeed a great honor and a privilege for our country. I understand this is the second time ever in 300 years of the history of this congregation that the General Chapter meeting is being held outside Europe. And it's the first time in Africa, and for Tanzania to get this rare honor, for us, it is something that we'll always cherish and remember with nostalgia. Congregation members, ladies and gentlemen, the history of the Holy Ghost missionary spans over 300 centuries. Over 300 years is the story of thousands of fathers, brothers, lay, who voluntarily decided to forego societal quest for power, prestige, and wealth for the sake of God and His most beautiful creation, mankind. These pieties were inspired and guided by the principles set by the founders of the congregation. In the dawn of the 18th century, to be very specific, in the year 1703. This was none other than the young French man, Claude Poulain de Placé. Am I pronouncing it correctly? Expounded by Father Francis Lieberman and shared by many others who followed after them. You are part of that lineage of exceptional human beings, guided the principle of profound humility, devotion, and care to the poor and disadvantaged across the world. We commend you and wish you every success. Tanzania has a long history of association with the Holy Ghost congregation. That history dates back to 1868, when the first group of missionaries entered the mainland Tanzania through this place, Bagamoyo, from Zanzibar. It was the Sultan of Zanzibar, Said Majid, then the ruler of the 10 miles coastal strip of mainland Tanzania, who gave this land to the congregation to establish their activities. While here in Bagamoyo, besides doing evangelical work, the missionaries freed slaves and settled them in what came to be known as the Christian freedom villages. They offered them education and free lessons of life skills. Later on, other slaves freed by the British and French anti-slavery ships were handed over to those brave men and women of the congregation to be rehabilitated and reintroduced to normal life in society. Eminences, ladies and gentlemen, the passion and fervent spirit of the members of the congregation did not end with freeing slaves and building churches and evangelization in and around Bagamoyo. They moved further inland, and over the many years they established churches and a large number of facilities to provide education, healthcare, and other requisite social services for humanity. Several schools owned and run by this congregation were credited for being high-performing and were among the best schools in the country. The Spiritans also produced good literary books, the dictionary, and the story-packed books like So Many Bila Shida, which I read, Safari za Bulicheka. That brought joy and laughter to many pupils in the entire country. The Holy Ghost congregation, in this regard, played a very significant role. They built and managed countless numbers of schools and colleges throughout the country. These included St. John Bosco's Middle School at Lugoba, where I got my standard 5 to standard 8 education from 1962 to 1960. I recognize and appreciate the enormous contribution of this congregation in complementing government efforts of promoting development and the welfare of this nation and its people. We pledge continued support and cooperation with you in the many years ahead. I implore you to continue to do the good work you are doing of spreading the gospel, providing education, healthcare, and other socio-economic services. I would like to see you do more. Build more schools like the Marian Secondary School here, Bagamoyo. But build vocational schools, polytechnic colleges to impart life-based skills to our young men and women. We should also increase investments in the construction and management of dispensaries, health centers, and hospitals. May I also make a humble request to this congregation to consider being more involved in supporting productive activities, particularly related to work of women in the rural areas. I know you are doing it, but now I'm asking you to do more. The congregation will have made an important contribution of complementing government efforts to fight and eradicate poverty, and at the same time modernize and transform Tanzania's rural economy. Eminences, ladies and gentlemen, I wholeheartedly commend the Holy Ghost missionary on the great successes made in the evangelical work since setting foot in Bagamoyo in the early 1860s. We are all witnesses to the phenomenal increase in churches and converts. I commend you also on the good work you are doing, guiding people to become good and responsible human beings and citizens of this country and their respective countries. I thank him, Father Joseph Shio, the Provincial Superior of the Holy Ghost Fathers in Tanzania, for working tirelessly with many actors, including government, church institutions, and other Tanzanians to create the best possible environment for this important meeting to take place here in Tanzania. Congratulations for the excellent arrangements. Congratulations for a job very well done. You have made us proud. I congratulate Father Bayo, the chair, of the board of the Marian Secondary School, for their ingenuity, creativeness, which has created this lofty building. Father Bayo has been very creative, very instrumental in a lot of the developments in and around this parish. Thank you, congratulate him, and wish him every success. Eminences, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, after those many words, it is now my singular honor and pleasure to declare the 20th General Chapter of the Holy Ghost Fathers Congregation officially honored. I wish you very fruitful deliberations and every success in your meeting and future endeavors. Thank you for your kind attention.
The president will agree with me that he is very charismatic.